Hey there everyone, Seja here, and we just stumbled across some nettles here out on the land and thought I'd take a little bit of time to share with you about this plant a little bit and some of its astrological correspondences and elemental correspondences too. Um, First of all, one of the things with studying plants that can be really beneficial to understanding a little bit more about the qualities of the plant, first off, is looking at the environment and the ecosystem that the plant grows in. And this kind of part of the land here is a very strong conglomeration point of the water element. It tends to be a very much more moist part of the land here, and kind of a disturbed part of the land too. There was some kind of land work that was going on here, so it's kind of disturbed soil. And we see the nettles oftentimes likes to grow in environments like that, and that's a pretty strong indication, first off, of a water element correspondence. It really likes to grow in very moist habitats, and one of the primary uses of nettle is as a diuretic remedy, which most of the time people think of a diuretic as having a direct impact on the kidneys and urinary tract, but really it's functioning on the water element as a whole, helping to increase urination and increase kind of the movement of that water element throughout the body and relieving stagnation in the water element. But one of the things I really wanted to talk about with in regards to nettle is its correspondence to Mars. And this is like the quintessential Mars plant. And we see it in the signatures of the herb, first off with the sharp serrations on the margins of the leaves. And of course, for those of you that are familiar with nettle, there's all of these really sharp kind of thorns or spikes. They're actually formic acid crystals, which when you touch them, it creates this inflammatory response on the skin. They call it, it's a rubefacient property or a counter-irritant property. Essentially, it's stimulating circulation of the blood, and it creates this whole topical inflammatory response. So these are all Mars signatures, right? Mars is the red planet, and it's very masculine and young and dynamic, and it has to do with our energy. And, traditionally it rules sharpness and serration and blood and battle and war and kind of all these intense things associated with the masculine archetype. So we see that just in the overall morphology of the plant, and we even see it chemically too, in the sense that nettle has a very strong iron content within it, and Mars corresponds to the planetary metal of Mars. Each of the 7 inner planets of astrology relate to a planetary metal. And so Mars corresponds to iron, nettle is full of iron, and our blood is full of iron, and nettle is this incredible blood tonic and working on the blood. And of course that topical inflammatory response also relates to Mars, as Mars rules heat and inflammation and the excitation tissue states. And then interestingly enough, when we ingest nettle, it has this opposite effect where it treats an excess of Mars, too much heat, too much inflammation. It's very alkalizing, very cooling. And we also see the seeds of nettle being an incredible kidney tonic, which again corresponds to the water element aspect. And then the root of nettle is a great male reproductive tract tonic used for the prostate gland, which also corresponds to Mars. So we see a lot of different dynamics here in relationship to nettle and Mars and the water element. And so in that way, we can see how these correspondences really tie all the different aspects of a plant together. And you can see how those celestial and those elemental influences directly correlate and correspond to how the plant looks, where it grows, how it functions in the body, even down to its chemistry. So that's just a little bit about nettles. Again, hit the like button, share this with your friends on social media. And if you haven't checked out the 3-part video series at Evolutionary Herbalism, head over there. The program is open right now for registration, and it's going to be closing soon. And this might be the last year that we do the Evolutionary Herbalism program in 4 4-day workshops. It's going to be most likely moving into more of an online format. So if you prefer live workshop training, this is the year for you to sign up. So head over to evolutionaryherbalism.com and put your name and email in. And I've got some free videos there going more in depth onto these different traditional models of understanding plants and astrology and elements and alchemy and all of that. So thanks so much, everyone. Take care and be well.